Hello everybody. As you can tell, you'll be joining me for October's bullet journal video. And for this month, I am very, very, very excited. I know I say this like every single month, but I genuinely mean it for this one. This month, I am focusing on creatures and beasts, and I am such an animal lover, so I was very excited to do this spread, and I saved it for October. I thought it was so fitting for October, especially because I wanted to do this cover page. So the cover page is an acrantula web, or a spider web, and I just drew the web in the background, and it was really quite a basic formatting. I just drew a very simple web, and then in cursive the title of October, the title of the month, and filled that in completely with black. And that was really all I did for the cover page. Very simple, no super elaborate embellishments or anything, but I really liked the way that it turned out, so I'm very pleased with that. I did a lot of different things this month that you guys will see. So first things first is the habit tracker, which is different. I have been using and loving individual habit trackers. This time I did long rows, and I will just put a dot on the day that I have done it, and each column is a different habit, and each initial at the top is what habit it is, and I know what they mean. So, and then to fill in the rest of the page, part of the reason why I did this long layout for the habit tracker is so I could put this very large drawing of a Hungarian horntail next to it, which I quite liked. I knew I wanted to do a dragon on this page. I wasn't sure which I wanted to do, and finally, of course, I had to settle on the horntail. I feel like it's just classic Harry Potter dragon. It is the one that he goes up against in the 4th book and movie, and it just seemed fitting. I wanted to put a dragon, so I finally landed on this one as the dragon I was going with. So I drew it out here and filled it all in as close as I could get to what a Hungarian horntail looked like. And yeah, I really liked the way that it ended up turning out. And I extended the wings into the habit tracker box. Just didn't fill it in completely, and I didn't draw the lines completely. So it was kind of like you could tell it's there, but also it's not kind of there look. I'm not even sure what look it would be considered. But the overall effect I really enjoy by the end of it. I liked the look of it a lot, so I'm very pleased with that. And as far as the actual tracker itself goes, I think it's going to work out really well, and if I like it enough, I might use it over having individual ones, because it was definitely a lot easier to draw out than each individual box, and especially like numbering each individual box. Alright, and on to my mood tracker. For my mood tracker, I went back to my days of my handy dandy coloring page style layout for my mood tracker. And what is more colorful than an Akami's feathers? I don't know. So I decided to go with an Akami for this page because it has a wide variety of colors in its feathers, and I drew in a bunch of tiny little feathers all over its body, and then every so often I would draw one big one, and I numbered these larger ones 1 through 31, and those will be the ones that I fill in for my mood throughout the month. So I'm also not sure if you can hear in the background, but I'm in a different house, and there's a lot of people and a lot of background noise, so you're probably hearing a bunch of that. But Anyway, yeah, so this took quite a long time to do because I drew a ton of these little feather type shapes. So, and then I drew one of the alchemy eggs down next to it to kind of just fill in that space, honestly. And then each color, I put a little color swatch over the little smiley, frowny face scale down there to let me know which one to fill in. And then I filled in the rest of the alchemy with the different colors. I would have taken far too much time and energy to do each individual little feather because each individual one is like several different colors, and that was just way too much. So I kind of color blocked some of these colors, and then I filled in the rest of the little feathers with the main color that an alchemy is, which is blue. And of course I left the ones that I will be filling in for my mood blank, because those will be filled in throughout the month. And yeah, I don't know. I had to add in an alchemy somewhere because they're just far too cute and cool. So I decided to use it on my mood tracker page. Next is my cleaning chart. I have adored my cleaning chart. It keeps me very organized in terms of cleaning, and I thought it would kind of be ironic if I put pixies on the cleaning chart page, because pixies are the furthest thing from being clean. They actually make more of a mess for you to clean up, but I just thought it would be kind of funny. So for my cleaning chart, I decided to put a sort of banner with all the cleaning lists on it, and it's kind of been strung about because the pixies have torn it down. And honestly, the pixies are probably my least favorite part of this. I felt I could do a better job on them, but I'm overall pleased with how this whole page turned out as a whole. Yeah, but I just thought that would be a fun little thing to do because pixies kind of destroy and make things messy, and I thought it would be funny to put them on my cleaning page. So that's what I did. And yeah, pixies are all just blue, so it's kind of hard to fill in because that's all they are. And I toyed with different like ways of highlighting different features of them, and ultimately decided that I didn't like the way that highlighted bits looked, so I ended up filling it in because it just looked really weird, and I did all of them blue and decided to not highlight any bits of them with a different shade of blue. But it was kind of hard to do because, like I said, pixies are all just blue, that's it. Then the next page is where I originally would have had my newest layout of my bill tracker page, and that was very, very short-lived. It didn't work out at all how I had anticipated and planned, and so that got chucked out the window. And but it was trial and error, and it ended up not working out at all. So I needed something else to fill this space, and I didn't really want to put anything necessarily tracker wise here, and I couldn't come up with anything that I knew that I would be using. I could have put a number of different things, but I wanted something that I was going to use, and there wasn't anything that I really felt I needed. So I decided to go with just a sort of artier, just kind of fun page, and I put Thestral on this page, and I based it off of like how it would look if you got it out of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, like a textbook. So I drew in the Thestral and the title and kind of just accented it. And then, yeah, I embellished the page. I put its Ministry of Magic classification of how dangerous it is down at the bottom, put some embellishments in the corner, and then there's supposed to be some sort of writing, but I couldn't find anything that let me know what the text actually said, so I kind of just scribbled and made it look like a text was there. But yeah, originally I was going to copy word for word whatever it actually said there, but I couldn't find any that I could legibly read, so I just sort of scribbled some word-like looking things to fill in the space. And that was my Thestral page. Next is my expense tracker, tried and true. Hasn't changed in a long time, but I've loved it, I've used it, it's been good to me, so that's what I did here. I debated using a ruler, but I did not want to use a ruler, I decided. It gives it a kind of rougher look, which I felt was fitting for a Creatures and Beasts theme spread for the month, and yeah, this page doesn't really leave room for a whole lot of embellishment or anything, so I just drew out the boxes as I always draw out the boxes, and filled it in with colors I based off of Fantastic Beasts. So I chose a dark blue and a gold type color because that's how the cover of the screen page looks, so that's why I chose it, but that was basically it. Next is my video tracker and brain dump page, 2 pages which I use often. And for this page I decided to do a Niffler because how could I do a Creatures and Beasts spread without drawing a Niffler? You can't, it's impossible, that's the answer. So I decided to draw a little Niffler climbing up the edge of the box that my video tracker is in, and with some little gold galleons and bars and things falling out of it. And then I also put little gold piles and diamonds and things, little pearls and whatnot all around the edge of the page as well, because Nifflers go after anything that is shiny. I think I even put a little diamond ring down in there. So I just filled the page with little shiny bits, and then the Niffler is climbing up the side to get to the pile of coins and diamonds and shiny things that it so desperately tries to get to all the time. And yeah, then I just highlighted it to kind of give it some character and whatnot, and moved on to my first week. So for my first week I decided to go for my circular layout, which I really love doing the circular layout. I don't know why, I just think it looks really cool. Even though you have to draw within the crease of the page, it can be difficult sometimes, but when it's done right, I feel like it looks really cool. So I don't know, I just always do that. And for this page, I did a Swooping Evil. I love the Swooping Evil. I think they're so cool. And I don't know who you are, but they're adorable. If you don't think they're adorable, like, I don't even know. They're just cute. So I decided to go with the Swooping Evil for my first week. And I filled it in with its colors, and I just think the Swooping Evil's so cool. It's probably one of my favorite pages in the entire spread, just because I think they look cool. I like the colors a lot. Green and blue are my favorite colors, and I just think the Swooping Evil's really cute, and I was pleased with how it turned out overall, and I just thought this ended up being a really cool week by the time it was all done. So I'm just filling in the wings with blue, and because I had already accented the other bits of his body with the green, and yeah, and that's really all there is to a Swooping Evil. And I just thought it looked really cool by the time it was done. So, and this is where it also gets a bit different. I was having way too much fun, so I decided to do all of the weeks, which I don't normally do. So you guys get to see my entire month, which I normally would have stopped by the first week, but I couldn't. So welcome to the rest of the month of October and my Creatures and Beasts spread. I was having too much fun to stop sketching it out and filming it, so I decided to do all of it. And for my second week, I decided to go with a puffskin. And I really enjoy the way that my puffskin turned out. Again, I went with the circular layout, as I've mentioned. I really enjoy the circular layout. I think it's really cool. It makes for a cool effect. I like the way it fills the page. I think it's cool. And then I drew my little puffskin and I filled it in. I decided to go with an orange color because I don't truly know what color a puffskin is. I know pygmy puffs can be like pink and purple and blues and things. I decided to do my little puffskin in orange because I thought it would look cute in orange, and I feel I was right. The next week after my little puffskin, I decided to do a bow truckle because, again, how could you do creatures and beasts without doing a bow truckle? Have you met Newt? He loves bow truckles. I mean, pick it. Come on. So for this week, I decided to do a bow truckle, and the way I separated the days was I drew a little tree branch because, as y'all know, bow truckles live in trees, specifically trees that are wand wood trees. So I drew tree branches, and I have one little bow truckle hanging from a branch and the other one standing on it. Then I labeled in each of the days and the numbers, and then I filled in my little bow truckles with green, and their little feet are brown. And yeah, then the rest of it I filled in with a darker brown for the tree branches. And I highlighted the rest in green so it wouldn't be just like this big block of brown. But by the end of it, I thought it was really cute, and I liked the way that it turned out. And I made sure that the bow truckles didn't take up too much space, so I had plenty of room to write my events and appointments and etc. and things that I need to do for each day that the bow truckles fall into. By the end, I really, really enjoyed it. So alright, on this next page I did a different style of layout. I did a bunch of little boxes and one long one at the bottom. I really liked it, and I did this specifically so that I would have room at the edge of the page for an embellishment. And I decided to do the hippocampus. As I was looking at different creatures for inspiration, there were so many that I wanted to do. I just didn't have the space to do that many creatures, so it was kind of hard to pick for some of them. Ultimately, I landed on a hippocampus because I just thought they looked cool and fun to draw, so I did that. And this page ended up being super, super easy. It was just head of a horse, tail of a fish, and just kind of drew it in at the bottom. It was all one color of this kind of deep, dark, orangey red color that I filled it in with. And then I embellished the rest of the page with that same color, and yeah, it ended up being a really, really simple, very, very easy spread. On the next page, I had to end out the month with a crup. I have a part Jack Russell as a dog, and they're basically indistinguishable from Jack Russell Terriers except for the forked tail. And I love crups. I think the idea of them are so cute. So I ended out the last week of the month with a crup, and I drew circles for each day in this week to polish it off because I wanted to do something different than a box. Then filled in the crup, and that was it. That was my whole month. So yeah, now yeah, enjoy the final flip through of it. Well, that is all that I have for you guys for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit longer and different than my others, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below. I would really like to know. Do you like creatures and beasts? Let me know your favorite one. And that's all I got for you. I shall see you guys next time.